Before joining HID earlier, he had worked in a heavy engineering industry for about 12 years. He received his BE mechanical degree from erstwhile Bengal Engineering College, currently IIST, Shibpur, Howrah, West Bengal, India, and Masters of Production Engineering from Jadavpur University, Kolkata, India. In the year of 1988 and in the year of 1990 respectively, he obtained PhD Engineering also from the Jadavpur University in 2015. He is a fellow of Institution of Engineers India. He has published a number of research papers in international journals and conferences. He is the co-author of two books, Engineering Mechanics and Engineering Thermodynamics and Fluid Mechanics, both published by NEP Education. He is also the author of a book titled Dynamic Scheduling by HM-based Holonic Manufacturing System, Concept, Framework and Execution, published by Lab Lambert, Academic Publishing, Germany. He is also contributed as an author of book chapter titled The Role of Non-Traditional Machining in Industry in 4.0, published by IGI Global. He is an incubee of MSME Idea Incubation Project titled Development of Cyber Physical Mixing Tools. His active areas of interest are computer integrated manufacturing, agent-based systems, smart manufacturing and cyber physics, physical production system, digital twin and machine tools 4.0, industry 4.0 and industry 5.0. Without further delay, I invite Professor Dr. Tarun Kambijana to take the floor.
Okay, so welcome back. To start with, although the theme is regarding solar effect on climatic dynamics, renewable energy sustainable development, but I have selected a different topic. It has got a relevance to any types of current faculty development program or the technological topics to be covered up. So national education looking at faculty members and the students who are associated with the academic institutions, even those who are in the industries, they would or they must have certain ideas, the philosophy or the different aspects of the proposed national education policy and how it is going to revolutionize our society and add values to our system, be it academics, be it industry, and most importantly, society to grow, to be at part, and to emerge as one of the major and economic power in the globe. So, to start with, what is the basic motivation of NEP 2020? First of all, if you see that there has been a tremendous change in the socio-economic sector due to globalization and the proliferation of the ICT, particularly in the post-pandemic era. Each of us, in any sphere of work in our society, whether academics, whether industry, whether business, whether law, we are living in the age of ICT. Everywhere there is a widespread use of ICT-related tools and techniques and devices. This has led to the tremendous socio-economic changes because of the globalization. This globalization has changed the entire spectrum of the business, our activities, even day-to-day activities. In our earlier days, even in our school college days, propagation of information was not so easy. If something or some idea is originated in any particular laboratory in US or UK, it will take substantial amount
propagate or to be disseminated all across the globe. But in the current due to this, thanks to these information communication technologies, the informations are propagating very fast to the internet, and merely by picking our Android phone or the internet or the laptop, it is possible to access. So that creates a competitive mindset in a much rigorous way that we have to be even in the same pace with the latest development or the latest reforms which are taking place all over the globe. So that has changed or impacted our society to a large extent. Some in IT sector jobs, majority of the IT sector jobs pertaining to the engineering education system land share was taken care of by the IT sectors. But in the IT sector, there is a boom and there is a slump. It is almost like a sine curve. So sometimes it goes very big and then subsequent days it comes down. So for the last couple of years there is a tremendous slowdown in the IT sector jobs, which has also affected our society. Afterwards I will elaborate a little about what are the merits and demerits of the IT sector jobs or the CS government jobs. Whatever may be our scope of work or domain of work, it requires highly competitive manpower with all-round capabilities and high regards to the value system. In the NEP 2020, this is the first time a complete call for the holistic development is incorporated. Earlier case, our attitude was to focus our attention to a very niche area or a very specific domain. Some from the civil engineering, someone from the power, someone from the instrumentation. But those days are gone. Now we have to combine all the disciplines, and I will now later on regarding multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary. So people, whether it is student, whether it is a faculty, whether it is the industry professional, they ought to have some idea about the holistic approach where interdisciplinary, cross-disciplinary or the multidisciplinary approach to their activity is very much important. So that focus is one of the major criteria which is incorporated or which is taken care of, or another one which was one of the major driving force in the NEP 2020. Rigid, orthodox and inflexible education system so far. Since independence, there were a couple of education policy reforms. First was by 1968, followed by 86, then 1992, then 2006 and 2009. The major focus of the previous reform was basically equitable approach. That means people irrespective of his social strata, financial strata, there should be other children should be provided with the education. That means 100% opportunity for the education, but actually it did not take place in reality. NEP 2020 is first major breakthrough in the national education policy, which is based on our traditional resource, and it is poised to provide the solution under the growing industrial challenges of the societal challenges. So that previous system of the education that was rigid, orthodox, scope for amendment or to modify or rectify at the pace of the development in the other parts of the world, that was not possible. So inherent deficiencies of the orthodox system did not allow to go for the rapid or faster modification of the education systems. Lack of flexibility to adapt in the 21st century. That was the earlier the inherent system was much more inflexible. It was rigid. So the crossing the boundaries of the curriculum or syllabus was not possible. But if we focus our attention or if we remain confined within our curricula and the syllabus, then it is very difficult to cope with the changing situations. So flexibility is extremely important. It is not only regarding the syllabus of the curricula, regarding the program duration, regarding the mode of delivery, the nature of the whether it's online, offline, or graded mode. These were not possible in the earlier case of your national education policy or the education system. In fact,
digital system has become popular for the last 10 to 15 years due to advancement of the information communication technology. Which those lacunas or the deficiencies present in the orthodox system eventually lead to the lack of employment. So that will significantly affect our economy. So keeping those things in mind, this National Education Policy 2020 was proposed. Some paradox I have incorporated: lack of self-evaluation, presence and aversion to persistent and hard work. This first point of the criteria is pertinent to the budding engineers or the students. After completion of their curricula or their program, whatever it is, diploma level, certificate level, degree level, or PG level, eventually they will land on their professional world. So unless and until they have a different mindset that I have to learn something proactively, it is not that the traditional approach to teaching learning that is not acceptable in the current days, and that is what exactly is proposed in the new reform. In the earlier mode, the teaching learning or the learning was basically reactive. Teacher will come to the class, teacher will give some input, teacher will motivate, teacher will give certain recommend certain textbooks, certain notes, and we will study, we will learn something, and eventually, basically, we are dependent. Our system encouraged on the rote learning. You remember something and vomit those things in the answer scheme to get high good score. But that is not the need of or that is not sufficient to survive in the current days highly competitive and the challenging business world. Whether it is industry, whether it is academics, whether it is medical profession or any other profession. Inappropriate evaluation system derives, and this the second part is what I was talking about. The road vision, it should come from your inner driving force that I have to learn something more so that I can sustain the challenges of the current days. And the situation is no longer even stationary. That is the most important thing. Quite often we forget. And you believe that after completion of our 4 hours, 4 years graduation program, my education is over, I joined the very job, looked at it thoroughly, and with this input, I will continue for the next 35 years of our professional life. No, that is not possible. In the current days, changes are taking place very fast, and that is not only confined to the laboratory or the academic institution. Industries are also coming a big way to incorporate a lot of changes, of course, in the economic level. So, it is all about the changes in the mindset that I have to, or as a student I will tell you, that our attitude towards the learning, our attitude towards the pursuing a particular degree program or diploma program, whatever it may be, it has to be changed also. Disruptive technology plays dominant role over sustainable development. Relating to our today's theme, sustainable development is one of the key words which has been considered under the National Education Policy 2020. So, disruptive technology, in one session I was talking about briefly about the development of IoT, AI, data science, autonomous robot, virtual reality, augmented reality. These are all basically pertaining to the disruptive technology. If the researchers who are pursuing in this domain, those who are from the CS or IT domain, they are also designing which are basically disruptive in nature, not sustainable. Why it is not disruptive? Why it is not sustainable? Because we are not long lasting. A particular technique, a particular software or tools is coming up, it is embedded in the market, it is verified for a long time, just like to be very honest speaking, that there is cancer everywhere. And eventually after a couple of time it becomes saturated and comes down, and something else is coming to replace the earlier one, and that is completely eliminated from the market. So those who have the proficiency of the earlier system or the earlier technique, which is very attractive couple of years back, now has gone no value, even no value. So that is why we are called disruptive. But we need something which will have a strong foundation leading to the sustainable development. Too much dependency on the social media. Social media has got a lot of advantages, but it has also got a lot of negative aspects. We rely on a lot of, I would say that we are encapsulated by a lot of development which are basically untrue, which are false. or which has got not a strong background. So these are misleading in nature. So we have to be, we remain safe, we safeguard ourselves, we have to be very careful what is right and what is wrong. Exaggerated view regarding hefty pay package and CTC as the term associated with our salary or the employment opportunities. In the current year, for the last 2-3 years, you will find in the internet 2 crore rupees job in IT Madras, 4 crore rupees job in IT or something like that. Someone is getting 1 crore, 2 crores, now in lakhs of crores, not in the terms of lakhs. But what is the reality behind that? How much their people are really getting and under what circumstances we can achieve that 2 crore is not achievable. Another one, I cannot recall the name, some I Kanpur alumni had mentioned that these are basically not more than 35 to 40% of what is manifested as a 4 crores rupees job or 2 crores rupees job. And that is also very difficult to attain. So these sort of things people should be really careful. That affects our life also. Imbalance between the ability and expectation. This is another important criteria for self-evaluation. Unless I am aware of my capability and to what extent I can augment, I can push down, and where I can land, there should be a clear roadmap, and there must be some, I would say, readiness of the reality, so that I should not think something big which is never achievable. If I do something or aspire for something which is very difficult or impossible for my career, I should not run behind that. Quite often it may be delayed and eventually it may have a catastrophic consequences. So be careful. One should be careful about lack of awareness about industrial and market requirement. What are the changes are taking place in the industry, in the market, in the business, in the society, in the economic sector? So all sorts of development one should be careful. Yeah, I am pursuing mechanical engineering or biomedical engineering. So I am confined only to my typical course curriculum. It is not our way to pursue education in the current days. Because eventually I am supposed to learn and my professional career is concerned with the industry. So what are the industry? What are their mode of operating? What are their challenges? What are the procedures they are following? What are the new technology? So these all sorts of area or aspects of the dimensions of the industry. I am not from the accountancy or the economics background, but that does not mean I should not be aware of the economical aspect of that particular industry. What is their market share? What is the profitability? What are the main challenges? Who are the competitors? Is there any possibility of the collaboration? This collaboration and amalgamation is a very new approach to sustain the highly competitive business world. So this sort of mindset, your adjustment and your, I would say that disposal, that is also extremely important. For typically you can say the all-round, the holistic approach to the education should be manifested, and that is successfully captured in the purpose in the NEP 2020. So these are the few key points I had copied because I cannot change just to for the purpose of the demonstration, the discussion. It is poised to offer education with equal access to the highest quality education for all learners, irrespective of social or economic strata. So that is our major hindrance in the earlier cases. In our population of currently is more than 149 crores, something like that. But a big chunk of our children are deprived of the education under the normal system. Other there, some social legacy aspects of there is someone is from the typical backward caste or the not learning from the financially affluent classes, so they are not entitled to or not eligible to pursue their education. So in 2020 propose or advocate for the first time that irrespective of the social strata or financial strata, all should be given the opportunity to pursue their education. This is the first thing. The policy proposes the complete overhauling of all aspects of the education structure, including its regulation, governance, to to create a new system that is compatible to the requirements of the 21st century education, including India's traditions and the value system. One important aspect of our NEP 2020 is the most motivation. Our old tradition of university like Nalanda and Taxila. So it was an open atmosphere. So good approach was developed in that time. So inspiring from get the inspiration from that old tradition of our education system, NEP is poised to provide the education which will respect the values, ethical approach, and of course it will not be confined, as I was talking about a couple of days back. It should not be merely confined to the fixed course curriculum beyond that. So there will be a holistic and all-around approach to the education, and which will be able to satisfy the requirements of the 21st century. In the 21st century, our business and societal requirements have also changed a lot. What we followed or we have experienced in our early days, even in our professional life. But for the last 10 years, due to this internet of the data driven of the smart system, it is the game, the context of the game has changed completely. So also for business. So without Android phone, you cannot survive for 1 hour. So it is almost become part and parcel of our living system. Without whatever, without air, we cannot survive. Similarly, without Android phone, perhaps we cannot survive. It will more than 1 hour. So, and associated challenges that we cannot deny. We are all part of the system. So that should be taken care of so that the incumbents of the students who are pursuing right now, afterwards embarking onto the professional domain, they must be able to withstand and to the challenges of the industry and will be able to provide the respectable or the acceptable solutions. The NEP 2020 envisions an education system which is rooted in the Indian ethos and makes much promise to transform India. This is what exactly I was talking about. It is a sustainable and hybrid knowledge society so that India emerges as global knowledge superpower. Afterwards, I will showing one just Times of India something message. Our Honorable Education Minister, Mr. Narendra Kumar, was addressing some convocation of our ministry, maybe on 15th November or something like that. So he was talking about emphasizing about explaining the different aspects and the need of NEP 2020 and how the educational reform system can eventually change the economics of our country, which will lead or which will help us to emerge as one of the superpower or the challenging power to the global economy. The curriculum of higher education requires complete overhauling with appropriate training of overall and complete development of learners and make the education more well-rounded as reflected to the outcome-based education useful and fulfilling in regard to the employment prospects of the learner. Outcome-based education is one of the major components or one of the major dimensions of the national education policy system. Separately, there is another quality accreditation criteria body like NEP or NEP. So this OBE is the basic philosophy of the National Board of Science. They had successfully come across or passed through the accreditation process in the Tier 1 institute, because we know that our institute is in 2019 and been upgraded to the autonomous institute. And this particular department, AEI, is waiting for the accreditation process, which will be due on June of this particular 2025 or something like that. Some other programs are there, not a slow one. So, outcome-based education that can we capture in the some of the earlier slide I was talking about the rote learning. That is the traditional approach to learning. You learn something, memorize something, and during exam or during high officer, proceed without understanding, just simply express or simply put the earlier and sustain and get very boastful. But eventually, even 98% percentage or very high rate
is not at all significant or sufficient to get a job or to assure or to guarantee a job. You have to prove your worth. So your knowledge you have to demonstrate. This demonstration of the knowledge and skill set, that is the capability, that is what exactly the essence of outcome-based education. The very name is outcome-based. Outcome. So the NEP, there is a national code of accreditation, which is basically in the extension of the Washington Accord, but 12 standard in the form of valued attributes or we popularly call as program outcomes. Those are identified. And the students, even in the master, I have mentioned that you have to change your mindset. You have to be proactive rather than reactive. So keeping that in mind throughout your 4 years of programs, by virtue of different courses, you have to challenge your effort and you have to have the attainment of all the POs. So that during the interview, you can justify your candidature that you not only have your academic knowledge, but you have the adequate skill set and the ability to apply your knowledge and other human qualities in due to the requirement of that particular industry. Then and then only you will be able to get to the interview and you can achieve your job. So if we have a close group, we find this particular board, 12 POs are mentioned in the as per NEP program. This is the essence of what exactly is called outcome-based education. There are other attributes, I am not going into that much detail. So this outcome-based education is one of the major components, the dimensions of the proposed education. Education would also help to ensure character building with deep respect for ethical and constitutional values and obligations. See, we are not completely aligned, we are not completely free from the society. And it is also reasonable to consider that I have got a tremendous background knowledge, scientific knowledge, lot of skill set, lot of communication skill or software skill, which are essential to solve the problem. But is it sufficient? No. There are certain other requirements. Those are basically the values and the respect to other ethical systems and the constitutional obligations. Because we are in a society, so the prevailing to the societal rules, your environmental rules, industry laws, and common ethics, those parameters also need to be included along with our knowledge and skill set, so that holistically we can approach to a particular problem which will eventually lead to the real sustainable development. NEP 2020 is all set to outperform the hitherto practice, highly fragmented, inflexible, incomplete and neat societal education system. So all the 4 key terms which are associated with the previous or the earlier traditional education systems, those are supposed to be replaced or their negative or the lacunas are supposed to be overcome by this NEP 2020. A holistic and multidisciplinary education would help develop the human faculties in addition to the knowledge and skills in various fields across arts, humanities, languages, sciences, and professional, technical, vocational fields with special emphasis on chosen field as well as soft skills. Several key words are there, but if you combine all these things theoretically, it leads to your holistic development. And these are already introduced in phase wise the curriculum modifications and flexible programs. 2 weeks back, in our pedagogy department there was a board of study meeting. So one board of study member was from NEP. So he told me that a particular student can follow or can take up 2 major along with some minors. 1 major, 2 minors, or 1 major, 1 minor is at the bottom, and whether easy to pursue. But 2 major means one student pursuing BTech in mechanical and at the same time moving in the data science. So we can imagine the road regarding your curriculum, it will be just twice. So one that flexibility is there, and one who can accept this particular challenge, the system will find it, which was not possible earlier also. So I am between mechanical engineering and instrumentation role 4+4. Simultaneously it was not possible. But here, the national education policy allows us to combine any subject. There is no binding, there is no barrier. If I have got taking interest in microbiology, I can pursue those things. In addition to my basic civil engineering or the mechanical or instrumental engineering. So that is one of the very distinguishing feature of this. That is there is a holistic and multidisciplinary. In this context, as I will discuss afterwards, there is like such a holistic approach will be followed in all categories of ET programs. It is not only confined to the engineering education, but the general education also, or medical education, or any other education system, whichever is applicable. So that is this approach of the attitude of the motivation was from the old tradition of our Indian culture. There is no binding rules. So I am from science, so I have no liberty to accept a paper, maybe on music or maybe on drama. That is not permissible. That is even more emphasis right now. Even in the current case, I am not very much sure exactly when it was introduced. We see that income care common admission test for MBA in higher and other premium institutions. Usually, income is 95% from the engineering background. But in a admission criteria, there are a lot of points. Only transport is not sufficient. Your class 4 level marks, graduation level marks, from which institution you are coming, and most importantly, what is new? Two new aspects. One is from whether you are from male or female. If you are from the female background, you will get 5 extra marks. But the objective is to make it widespread for all types of people. Another one is distinguishing just to come out on this only one background, who have a coming and from any background, they are introducing I am not very much sure how much marks is awarded. 10 or 5 or 15. You do not from non-traditional background. Then I can do one model in Bollywood. Each person can do Ahmedabad is from the modeling background. So that is the one distinguishing feature that from people from all across, from all disciplines, without any restriction, can pursue any sorts of education or any type of courses according to which we are choice. Some major diagrams are there is the multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary program for holistic development. So those who are in the instrumentation background or from the biotechnology background or the electrical background, you can also additionally you can opt for some open electives of the data science or the machine learning or any other subject which are in multidisciplinary or the interdisciplinary in nature. I don't know whether you will be able to distinguish. There is certain difference. For example, interchanging between the term multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary. Multidisciplinary is from the people from the different background will contribute their part and their involvement or various can be made separately. But in interdisciplinary, there is a complete assimilation or amalgamation so that you won't be able to separate them from the final product or services. Let me give you one very good example. In the current day, we talk about this what is the data science or the data driven system. So in the complete about the power plant, there are people from the chemical background, mechanical background, instrumentation background, electronics background. So each one are doing or responsible to contribute as far as their activities are concerned. So that is what exactly the. So everyone's identity is told clearly. So that is multidisciplinary. But in the interdisciplinary, they are so combined that you won't be able to distinguish. So think about your industrial robot or a CNC system. These are generally your mechanical system. They are only mechanical, computer, electrical, control, instrumentation. But they are so infused that you will be able to separate. This part is called, let us indicate the mechanical part, let us indicate the instrumentation part. That is not possible. So from the very principle, basically synergistic integration. Synergistic means 2 plus 3 is not 5. 2 plus 3 will be equal to 6 or more than that. So whenever they are combined, they give something more, which two different system cannot offer. That is the interdisciplinary. So anyway, the multidisciplinary and the interdisciplinary approaches should be prevalent. So I was referring to the different subjects we can opt for. So there is no such restriction. So this integrated will allow that all sorts of development that can be considered for any particular student can take care of. Skill development can develop our skill set. So while you practicing some more stipulated experiment in the laboratory, go to the lab, make some arrangement of your field of the set application and readings, come to some solution, the composite remarks, preparing certain table and making certain remarks and the drawbacks. That is not the sole objective of your experiential learning. You have to start from the scratch. So that same experience you can utilize in your real life industry enjoyment. Research innovation and entrepreneurship. We cannot remain stagnant, or we should not be maintaining the status quo. What I know, I had graduated maybe 5 years back, or I had completed my PhD also maybe 10-15 years back. So that is maybe the end of my formal education. But that does not mean I will not equip myself, I will not update myself. So there is a term that is also part of your program outcomes of NEP, that is the last one by lifelong learning. So this lifelong learning, although as far as PO or NEP is concerned, it is regarding incumbents, regarding students. But this lifelong learning aspect is associated with each and every people, whether it is a 5 years child or 80 years old people. Without this lifelong learning, it is very difficult to survive. You just consider, you take back a look to your senior members of your family, who are currently maybe 65 years old or above. Earlier days of official work, particularly you want to buy a railway tickets or go to Bangkok, you have to physically go there. But without Android phone, it is not possible even to carry out your Bangkok. They are not comfortable, maybe, due to their old age. But slowly you can have a look or you can have an experience how our parents, despite their old age, trying to memorize the keyboard. Even we had learned at much later age, but it is inevitable. We cannot deny the technological development. So this will completely ignore our life. So we have to keep our mind, we have to open our mind that whatever new will be coming, that we have to adapt slowly at least. And entrepreneurship. This entrepreneurship startup, these are also very important aspect. Or I was referring to the MSME idea incubation. So this is a potential platform where you can think of some innovative ideas, your critical thinking, and give it a practical shape. With this background, you can, afterwards, after completion of your graduation program, you can come up or you can emerge as a potential entrepreneur or a startup. Now, in the recent times, you find that for the last couple of years, these startups and entrepreneurship is playing a very crucial and dominating role in our country. Capacity building towards quality education. This is the capacity building. Capacity building, I was referring that these outcomes are not only for the students. So we the teachers have the role to equip ourselves or we have to enhance our capacity so that we can grow our students or inculcate the students with the new state of the education systems as well as the new and emerging contemporary topics. Governance and the autonomy. Governance, autonomy, these are also very crucial part of the NEP 2020. As far as the different institutions, governance is concerned. It may be autonomous, it may be affiliated to some institutions, some universities. This affiliation concept is not prevalent in the developed countries, mostly in the Pakistan, Bangladesh and India. your institutions, in your high schools, your teachers are capable enough to design the syllabus, deliver the execute the classes, conducting different events, evaluate the examinations. Then why there is a necessity to tag ourselves for certain decision with some other organization which include our every hierarchical. So it creates a basically relativism, nothing else. So NEP 2020 is all set to alleviate this particular area, and majority of the institutions should be looking for autonomous institution, so that in their government they will have their full flexibility, full liberty to design their course curriculum according to their requirement. They can put their standard board study members, they can design their course curriculum, and they can visit those curriculum every now and then, and so that they can reform according to the required need of the society and the industry. Not only the curriculum, but teaching learning, and at the same time examination. This is what our institute is following this autonomous status. Of course, I can't say that it is not full 100% autonomous, but one different aspects of the autonomy, syllabus training and the syllabus curriculum, examination, conducting. These are the things we can carry it out. That is in congruence with the philosophy of NEP 2020. Some other in continuation, quality, ranking and accreditation. Initially I was talking about this NPA. So this quality part is also very important. So you should not be confused with the AICT and the NEP and what is called the NEP or NIRF. One is agency or authority of the organization which gives approval for day-to-day running basic requirement. That is the AICT. But if you want to achieve something more, which you want or which is fit for your quality, there is certain added quality criteria have to be incorporated. We have to follow. So for that purpose, for the purpose of accreditation and evaluation, two different agencies are different. One is NEP, that is the National Board of Accreditation, that gives the quality accreditation to the authorities, and NEP they take a holistic view, that is the institution as a whole. As I told earlier, that our 10 eligible book of all NEP accredited, and our institution as a whole is NEP accredited. And another part which was introduced perhaps 2015 or 20, I can't recall exactly, NIRF, that is the National Institution Ranking Framework. So these are some of the added quality aspects which are also postulated or propounded in the NEP 2020. Equitable and inclusive education. This is objective is the 100% literacy rate. So it should not be weak education system. It should not be focused or confined to only a handful of people who can afford, who are socially forward or who are economically strong, not like that. So irrespective of their culture, their location, their financial status, we should be affordable. Promotion of Indian language and knowledge system. So basically NEP 2020 is motivated or inspired from our old ancient knowledge system. So that should be reflected in our day-to-day life, whether we are in a classroom or in a department or in an institution or in a playground or in a office or in the department maybe. So this is why to recall our traditional system and obligation to our constitutional rules and regulations and norms. AICTE in their course curriculum has mentioned as a mandatory course two papers. One is traditional knowledge system and other is Constitution of India. Irrespective of the any program, whether instrumentation, biotech, mechanical or data science, it has to be present there. Internationalization of the education system. So with these inputs, if we generalize our NEP with this mindset, then eventually we can emerge as a global power, and that will help build our economy, which will be challenging or which will create a situation where people will admire or respect our system, that India can offer quality education which is acceptable all over the globe. Digital empowerment and online education. This is another key areas. You know that our diploma, ITI, BSc, BTech, whatever the MBBS, all are basically supposed to be pursued in a physical mode or offline mode. But additionally, it is not possible. I am referring to a lot of other courses, some major, some minor. All courses of your interest may not be possible to conduct in the offline or the physical mode. Because physically, it is very difficult to migrate from one location to another location. So online platform is the best approach to extend your knowledge and the skill set by undergoing digital revolution of the online system. This is why Government of India, through a lot of IITs and IIScs, they are promoting a lot of smart course or MOOCs course under NEP or similar other values. And another point, Indian language, promotion of the India, we followed. Indian language. Although traditionally we follow English as our established language of the video or teaching language in our professional education system. But the NEP 2020 emphasizes that you promote or you focus your attention to encourage teaching learning in the regional languages. Because languages should not be considered as a bar to your education system. That is why a lot of faculty from the NITs and IITs, they are writing textbooks of the standard engineering topics in the regional languages. So digital empowerment and online education, and of course you know that after COVID-19, digital media was the only way out to get rid of the pandemic, negative aspect of adversities of the pandemic. And that is now become the new rule of society. Some implementation aspect, curricular and syllabus reform, which I have already told. Outcome-based education, so everywhere in the syllabus, in the activities, it should be reflected that there should be a flavor of outcome-based education. Multiple entry exit options, very interesting. Yesterday in Times of India, I showed you after, it is still in my WhatsApp, that this multiple entry, multiple exit option, this is also already been introduced by some of the leading national institutions like IIT Bombay and some other IITs also. Only that this is another dimension of the flexibility. At the very beginning, we the guardian, teacher, or the particular student, we have assumed that this is a 4-year degree program. So after for completion of unforeseen situations, mostly related to financial crisis or major elements, that due to financial crisis at any point of time, that it is beyond possible to continue what was the child to get a degree. It would be better if there is a possibility that I can complete my degree within 3 years, so that I can save my money and then apply to a job and I can join university or the profession. This is a very touchy and very important aspect of the quite a good number of students. So this multiple entry, multiple exit option is a flexible scenario. Whether students according to his or her requirement, is can upscale or downscale his tenure of the duration of his or her degree. So initially it is a 4 years degree, but I was so that yesterday Times of India there was a proposal from the AGC chairman that senior degree program can be completed by scaling up EIR in 2.5 years. 4 years graduation programs can be completed within 3 years. In the other side, 3 years program can be extended up to 4 years. 4 years program can be extended up to 5 years without any lab or without any so far something beyond that. So the concept of learning is updating the academic development. So it is a very good opportunity and potential dimension to awaken for the students who sometimes due to some
these changes of their table. So both sides are there. You can accelerate it, or you can slow down. And at the same time, suppose is basically 4 years course. Initially at the stage, someone can complete 2 years. Then he or she is not continuing. And after 2 years, in somewhere else, the 2 years credit which you have earned so far, that will be accumulated in your academic bank of credit. So once after 2 years, when you again resume your academics, you want to complete on the balance 2 years period. So nothing will go in vain, nothing will be wastage. So that is what exactly is the multiple entry and exit options. Passing through academic programs simultaneously. This is what I was talking earlier. I am repeating. Multidisciplinary interdisciplinary approach I have already mentioned. Skill development I have already mentioned. Distance learning. So open distance learning and these digital programs are one structure more that distance learning. That is also a part of your national education policy system and Indian knowledge tradition. So what are the basic initiatives in US? I believe that there are only one more slides. So quickly have a plan. Proactive attitude rather than reactive. So we have to, as a teacher, not only for the students. So teachers, students, all should have a proactive mindset so that we can focus our attention that I will reach that target. I have to attain those 12 POs. And accordingly, I will make my time and make my effort in the attainment or in the pursuit of that particular goal. Bringing the flavor of industry in the classroom. It is the role of the faculty member to, because eventually after completion for 35 years, an engineering graduate is supposed to spend in the industry. So it is high time that we should bring the flavor of the industry in the classroom so that after joining, you can acquire better in tune with the atmosphere prevailing in the industry, and most importantly, it will give you the another mileage to break through in your campus or any sort of interview, the placement. Accountability, discipline, and commitment. Now, your teacher will not say, try to discipline, get a word in the morning, go to the basement, not like that. It is flexible. But you have to be disciplined according to your own choice so that you attain or you must demonstrate or exhibit some positivity and discipline. Without that, it is not possible to fulfill any master. Flipped classroom is a new approach which is also flexible in nature and much more focus about the digital classroom. FLIP that is the acronym. F stands for flexible, L stands for learning content, learning culture, I for intentional content, and P for professional educator. Flexible means even in pursuing your standard physical mode of classes, but returning back to your home or in your hostel, wherever you 24/7, you can access any online program or soft copies. So the NPTEL or any other lecture, the abundant number of your resources are available. Even your faculty members also upload their notes or their lectures in the YouTube, they are available in the departmental home pages. So that is, so on the one hand there are students, that is one stakeholder, and on the other side faculty member. So both are equally responsible. So it is our duty to make these things available, and it has to be made available to the students so that flexibly they can access those things 24/7. So that is stands for A. A is the learning culture. Learning now we can say what culture I have to follow. It is completely. That means what actually happens, the students come to a campus with a training and start from scratch. So teacher will go to the syllabus, these are the major modules, here the initially, here the introductory, they will delegate to some complex topics. And per particular topic, there are some education, some laws, some basic equations, and then finish. So in usual cases, the students' participation, this is passive learning. 90% cases students are not attending. It is
not only the practice of the current generation, it is the established practice. Historically small, that whenever we hear something, we are not so much attentive. So, thinking that through the all these inputs which are available digitally, flexibly, you just go to your subject, its relevance, its what is called predecessor or the key requirements, and some outline. And when you come to the class, you should go with the deeper interaction with the faculty member, so that more thought-provoking exercises can be carried out. A deep rooted your mathematical deduction, if it is data analysis, your graph plot, some your data collected from the industry, comparing between those things, what are the different techniques that you can follow. So your detailed and your I would say active participation is encouraged or recommended under the flipped classroom. So both teacher as well as the student should participate actively in developing the classroom content. Then the content. So content should not be merely notes, definition, email, something like that. It should be focused towards the thought-provoking processes. And finally, the professional educator. By doing so, teachers should evaluate or take the feedback on the real time to what extent students are participating, to what extent they gain the knowledge, to what extent they are really confident. If there is any deficiency, that should be addressed. That is the meaning of flipped classroom. More industrial basic than industry. You know that industry is now giving important, maybe 14 to 20 credits are incorporated in the new university recommended syllabus. So it is recommended that on the very beginning of the competition of last year, people in great numbers and will spend more time in the industry for data, industrial flavor or industrial input. Emphasis on mini projects. These are also will give you the more flavor to the emerging topics, cross discussion among your friends, among the teachers, among the peers of other discipline. Because it is no longer confined to one department or one discipline. Awareness about the business trends, since we are basically after completion in the engineering industry means business. So what are the business trends, what are the basic requirements, we must be aware of it. Exposure to basic management principles and practices. Now if you want to invite certain values, so there is one of the basic fundamental subject irrespective of any discipline. Mostly it is offered by the MBA or the mechanical, traditional newspaper, but irrespective of the, I would say, irrespective of any discipline and anywhere, one who is working in a government office or industry or hospital or hotel, these basic functions and basic skills regarding management, everyone should develop and should must have some idea. Without which, despite your high proficiency in your domain, you won't be able to be successful. So these are some of my observations, that is why I have incorporated that how best we can implement and get the benefit of most of NEP 2020. Last one criteria, NEP 2020 in larger perspective, it emphasizes the focus of human as well as societal well-being, and NEP notes that higher education significantly contributes to a sustainable livelihoods and economic development of the nation. This is not my modifications. This is extended exactly from what is written over NEP 2020. My objective was to relate these two criteria with this proposed FTP program. In a different way, NEP 2020 and its relevance to Industry 4.0 and Industry 5.0. Industry 4.0 is nothing but the fourth industrial revolution, which was proposed by German, or it is German initiative launched in 2008 in their Hanover fair. It is all about automation, increased automation. It is not that automation the first time it was launched in 2010. Automation was introduced in 1970s. When this mechatronic system, programmable system, robotic system, CNC system were introduced and eventually qualified to the in our academic institution, in our industry, how much there is a data intensive smart devices as
proliferated in our society. But what is missing, and that is why Industry 4.0 is not yet been that much successful, because it's completely disregard to the sustainability, values, and human comfort. That is also once again these two words, sustainability and human well-being. These are missing in the Industry 4.0. It is all about the data automation. As human intervention, human role is not required. So that geopolitical the sustainability aspect as far as the economic and the social imbalances are concerned. And each industrial reform of the revolution spans over 60-70 years to become mature. But Industry 4.0 was proposed in 2010, and parallelly in 2015 these deficiencies were observed, that it fails to address the sustainability and the human well-being and the societal approach. So in 2015, Michael Rada, he had proposed the concept of Industry 5.0, which emphasizes on values, tradition, sustainability, equitability, and environmental aspect. So these all keywords were already taken care of rightly in our NEP 2020. This is why I have brought this particular slide. I have tried to map the need of the different dimensions or key parameters or indications of the NEP 2020 in relation to the Industry 4.0 and Industry 5.0. So in that case, Industry 5.0 mitigates the gap and advocates for efficient combination of man-machine interaction. Industrial robots were prevalent after fourth industrial revolution, after automation. But in this case, the same industrial robot is given a different tag with different attributes named cobot. It is not only a robot, it is called cobot, collaborative robot. That means a human and robot will work in coordination. The way we human beings work together. I do something, I tell you something, you do the next day, then you send me, then I do something, I ask you something. And you two human are discussing and interacting. The same way, in one side you will have robot, in other side there will be human. There is a seamless collaboration and interaction within the concept of robot. Okay. So that is, and of course it will be a platform for their symbiosis. Symbiosis means there will be ample opportunity for growth. For the human being, I will satisfy my objective and the machine will satisfy its own objective. There is no confliction. Which also respect human values and emphasizes on triple bottom line. So these are the basically the three different dimensions of the sustainability: economic, social, and of course the environmental. So that's all. So quickly, conclusion: technical education in the 21st century is undergoing rapid changes, which all the stakeholders must be well aware and should be open for necessary reform. This also NEP is regarding education. So that does not mean it is only confined to the academy or the research institutions. Because all the stakeholders, this concept of stakeholders is very much important in the NBA application process. So only teachers and students are not aware of the stakeholders. The society, the industry, the local people, the guardian, and of course the government or the non-government under which leadership this institution has been developed. So all the stakeholders' objective or the necessity to be considered and attended to be further satisfied. If we want to focus on capacity building to have a sustainable education system, people should come out from hierarchy and avoid maintaining status quo. It is a very natural practice. Whenever some changes are proposed in anywhere, whether it is industry, whether it is institution, there is a natural tendency to oppose it. Oh, I am following this technology, it is fine, why should I go for it? So there is an inherent mindset, so we have to come out from this static mindset and we have to welcome the modification productivity. Emphasis on discussion and exchange of views. I know everything. that is very wrong. So we have to create a platform, and wherever the opportunity will permit, keep on discussing, keep on interacting with your peers, with your juniors, with your seniors, whether industry, whether institution, whether hostel, whether China Dukan, same thing. So this interaction gives lot of information and really benefits our knowledge and skills. And one should refrain from doing the work ostensibly or writing this objection on the wall ostensibly. Why often in Indian pretend? Oh, so this is to pretend something, not doing exactly or in the right perspective. So we should be different from this ostensible approach and we will be honest to our editor. Whatever we do, we should speak it out honestly. So if we are firm in our or determined in our work and we can devote our attention with only that effort, I believe already some NEP aspects have already benefited our defined institutions, industry, but again, only couple of years is not sufficient to understand and to realize its full potential in the NEPs. I hope that in the coming years, the dream of NEP 2020 will become a real one and it will really useful for the developing of our economy, our society and human beings. Thank you very much for your presentation. If I am not this directly otherwise, I don't have any question. I am also writing something. So you are free to communicate afterwards also. My WhatsApp number and email IDs are also given to you. So at any point of time, in any way, you are welcome so that you can. I am open to all. I am not other things from my peers from other departments, LEDs and others ITA. Integrated profile experience also. So he is giving I am senior. This mindset should not be present. I had one PhD one brilliant student of IT earlier who had passed in 2013. He had contributed significantly to complete my PhD. He had one very complex algorithm was earlier implemented in some platform. I cannot recall right now. But that has given me a lot of boosting out to complete my PhD. So this student he learned more yet. Yes, this is not the scenario. So be open to anybody. So knowledge should we should open your mindset to acquire something good, something new, something positive. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Jana, for the enlightening session on the implementation of NEP 2020 pros and cons. It's time for the question and answer session. Any question from the participants?
So it is better to anyone if you have it. That's good. That's good. That is what happens. 2030. This particular government is emphasizing whatever difference we have asked me the question. Yesterday, ETC to let undergrads complete 3-year degree in 2 years. How it will be? So this is published in Times of India. So my thing is that every day this reform and this different approach and initiatives are taken by the whether UGC or the AICT or the regulating authority, they are coming very big. This is published in the Times of India. Yes, sir. Actually.
Your focus will be on the engineering and technology education.
Obviously, because there is my lecture, so I will be able to give examples from that particular.
Comes to the school level.
Actually, school education is one significant part of NEP. That is also included. It should be, I don't know, recall like 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4, something like that. So there is a reform. And another thing is that the concept of affiliated institutions should not be present. All will be at the university or autonomous institution. And it is the responsibility of the those institutes to guide the nearby schools to navigate to the different aspects of the. Even if you go to the class 5, 6, even some people, they are also CEOs. I don't know exactly everything is learning also. So it is started on different levels, and government is very keen on enforcing these things very fast. You know that every now and then UGC or AICT is putting online a talk or seminar, inducting people or asking their principal to attend or some senior professor to attend. It is almost regular every now and then.
Sir, I have asked a stupid question.
Sure.
How human language can be used?
That is also as an engineer teacher. I have also some restriction. I have also some reservation. But the thing is that they have viewed it from the different perspective. Actually, those who are not affordable, those who are not from the urban background, they cannot speak English. But their objective is that this language barrier should not come with vital role in your higher education. You may be very intelligent, your mathematical skill is fine, your physical understanding is very fine. But only because of the English, you should be deprived of the education. That was the motivation. So as a teacher, writing those equations or was even substituting Hindi or Malayalam or Bengali is difficult. But slowly that is why, particularly for the students, they have told or provided some direction for the Institute of National Importance. They have identified different faculty members and you write textbooks, and all are published. And they are and some universal program that is promoting regional language. So slowly it will be coming in. And this is the classroom we can blend, we can go for blending. English plus some regional. If you have some doubts only because of the languages, so at least I can explain in Bengali or usually in these languages.
I have a
Translation.
3 years degree course will be can be completed in 1.5 years. 2 years. So how it can be achieved? They have to be covered whole credit. So how the college will develop their
The responsibility not only lies with the incumbent. Our system that is the governance, infrastructure, that should be made or arranged accordingly so that I cannot deploy. If you have any inclination that I would like to go fast, the 3 years diploma course or degree course, I would like to complete in 2.5 years. So I will allow you, I cannot restrict you. That
course curriculum will be dynamic.
Obviously dynamic. So 4 years course can be completed in 3 years. Because it sir. They are talking for the complete flexible scenario, but there are 25 people in your area. All 25 are having random mismatch. Then what happens in our electric system? A lot of bunch or basket of electrics are there. Can we offer all kind of electrics? So we restrict. But as far as possible, we will keep on decoupling as far as possible.
Autonomy and autonomy in the
academic backlog training and this multiple entry exit. It's a more to backward student helpful. Earlier, actually, there is a term now, education dropout, school dropout. They cannot complete due to early marriage for the women or the child, lady child. So that is a difficult. So okay, after 2 years, let she go for the marriage. So after a couple of years, one it is settled, she can resume.
One they have agriculture is the entrepreneurship. The entrepreneurship, there is the local people can be learned from those local subject and they can do their own. Because a lot of people are having the engineering background. And regarding the sir, the question, the government of India having 700 crores rupees for the school students. Promoting all with some few, so that is also one part now to do all those things.
One thing that I have mentioned,
the challenge is to implementation of the
that is facing actually. That is really facing to collect the school names. Schools are not interested.
That is also this part is quite visible in different activities. It was one instance I had to put if time permits or if there is a session, I will be able to that being MSCB in charge of the person of our institution. So MSCB free here, they are going for the hackathon. So 70, 100 number of proposals are coming. I believe that all 100 will not be selected, all will not be given the grant. But lot of your thinking, creative ideas are coming out of it.
Exactly.
So in this industry 5.0, there is another term which is associated. It is called circular economy. Circular economy is wherever something is considered as a wastage, those will become raw material for some other industries. Waste to wealth. So recycling, that is what exactly is the circular economy. So some proposals have to be in a better position to identify. Some proposals we have got from the biotech or food tech. They talk about the recycling of the chemistry, your kitchen waste. They should be done, they should be processed, and eventually biogas will be extracted. So lots of I was there. I was listening. Experience some ideas, or maybe it's not detailed, but this sort of ideas are coming. And then?
If a particular individual, he or she is continuing and she is leading that particular subject at the mid of the session. When he or she is resuming, maybe she is able to start from there or from the beginning of the
No, that is the advantage. This is what actually called, I cannot recall, perhaps it was there, academic bank of the implementation. Academic, this is just like your bank passport for your study. So if you take deposited 100 rupees, tomorrow 1000 rupees, so your balance is 1100. Tomorrow after you deposit another 5000 rupees, so it keep on adding. So in this case also, once a student registered in the portal, whatever credits he has asked for, all will be accepted. Okay, so it can be extended from even all our credentials, the testimonials, these are digitally available. Not necessarily after companies have, maybe he is posted in the Bombay, he will have to come to HID, provide long distance, and correct his certificate is not required. See anywhere, he or she can download his So this is what the concept of bank of academic bank of So this will be immensely beneficial for our, particularly in our social system, that early marriage of the women is, sometimes it is very prevalent. So they cannot school or college education. So after completion of 1.5 year, 2 years, it is not completed, but no need to depend. You go for marriage, fine. After 2 years, you can resume. So whatever you have contributed, those have to. They are only the remaining part. Maybe 6 months or 1 year is remaining. So that is also easier. So it serves two purposes. First of all, whatever time, money, effort that we had already put into the system, that won't go to a wastage. So that is one thing, and you remain only 6 months. So that gives only another booster. If I want to start again after marriage, after child, I have to start from scratch, 4 years, that may not be possible. But when it is only 6 months, it is easy. So that is these are the benefits. Multiple.
Definite criteria for that. Every student or every such type of
those criteria that individual institution will have to share. We cannot be very generic. I am not sure. I don't know whether it is available in the website. I can suggest that Bombay IIT has already introduced. So if it is available in their website, you can go through that. What exact criteria? Even I was referring to one faculty from the IIT Kharagpur. He told that 2 measures can be offered. The system allowed. But how practical to, because these BTech courses are basically regular course. So for instrumentation, it is also 195. Simultaneously for biotech, it is also 95. So how the time schedule of biotech and instrumentation is synchronized? So that creates a problem. So after attending 2 classes in control engineering, then I go for the microbiology, then again switch back to here to biotech, then again go there for some other thing. So this is some sort of difficulty. But one who is proactive, if I have someone is very fast runner, at least even for the IIT, they are real jewels. So they have got that much proactive or that much intelligence or thought thinking process. They can do something more. So eventually it may give better bonanza in their professional life. At least what is important in the trade, that those who are from the core engineering background, these are honestly speaking, they are no longer very attractive. But people are pursuing. But what is I would like to be added is some sort of data science, some sort of IT, some sort of AI/ML, so that my job prospect increases. So that is too minor from data science or IT I can easily take up. So that will boost my career. There is a opportunity. So those opportunities are now recognized in the start of your career. So lot of major minors from this. Okay, thank you, sir. Any other questions you have? You can communicate me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, participants. In this session, sir, your deep understanding of the policy and its implications for the future of education in India has given us much to think about. The discussion on inclusivity, flexibility, multidisciplinary approaches are truly inspiring, and I believe they will play a pivotal role in shaping the way we approach teaching and learning in the years ahead. Now, before we move on the next part of our program, I would like to take a moment to thank our speaker once again for their time and expertise. We would like to express our gratitude to Professor Dr. Turul Jana for his enriching session on the National Educational Policy. To do so, I would like to invite Mr. Dr. Hostel to present the token of appreciation to Professor Dr. Jana. I would also like to invite Dr. Ashim sir to present a memento to Professor Dr. Jana as a symbol of our thanks for his valuable time and the knowledge he has shared with us. Professor Dr. Jana, we are truly honored by your presence today, and we thank you for your insightful session.
It is a golden opportunity for me also to learn a lot of things.